week 8 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few centers rising up the rankings this week. The first guy is Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers, and Embiid, obviously, he was a second rounder in most fantasy drafts this season, but this year he's been a fantasy monster. But the last few weeks, he's really kicked it into another gear, as Embiid. On the season, he's ranked 7th, 29.4 points a game, 10.9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.3 steals a game, 1.3 blocks, 1.1 threes a game, 84% from the foul line, 54% from the field. In the last 2 weeks, he's the third best ranked player in fantasy basketball, 33.5 points a game, 10.3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.5 steals, 1 3 a game, 88% from the foul line, 54% from the field. So Embiid, the last 3 games, they've been monster ones as well. February 6th versus Brooklyn in a blowout victory, 33 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, and a 3. At Sacramento, February 9th, 25 points, 17 rebounds, a huge double-double, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. And then last night at Portland, in a bad loss, 35 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, a 3, 52% from the field. So Embiid, we always knew he was a stud. We knew he was a great player, but this season he's really bumped up his stats and playing way better. His points per game are up 6, and I think Doc Rivers, he's unlocked more potential here in Joel Embiid. Embiid, if he always stays healthy, he's going to be a great ball player. And so far this season, he's been healthy for the most part, and he's really helping his team in the 76ers win a lot of ball games, and also fantasy owners who got him early in their draft. So he's rising up the rankings, and I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. The next center on the rise is Nikola Vucevic of the Orlando Magic. Vuk, he's been a beast this whole season. He hit a little bit of a dry spell for a couple games, but on the season, he's ranked 14th with 23.3 points a game, 11.6 rebounds, 3.5 assists, a steal a game, 2.6 threes, 82% from the foul line, 47% from the field. And in the last week, Vucevic, he's ranked number 10 overall in fantasy basketball, 28 points a game, 13.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1.3 blocks, 2.5 threes a game, 78% from the foul line, and 46% from the field. So Vuk, he's been an animal this whole season pretty much, but we've seen big games out of him, and every season it seems like he improves at something. And this year it's been his 3-point shooting, and for the most part his foul shooting as well. And the last 4 games he's been on a tear more than ever. February 5th versus the Bulls, a huge double-double, 43 points, 19 rebounds, so he just missed that 40-20 with 4 assists and 4 threes. February 6th versus Chicago again, 17 points, 8 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a 3. At Portland, February 9th, a huge double-double, 27 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. And then at Golden State, last night, in a bad loss, 25 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 threes. Vuk, he does it all. He's one of the best centers in all of the NBA. And like I said, he's going to just get better each and every season. And I don't see him slowing up anytime soon. And that's why he's rising up the ranking board. The next center on the rise is Chris Boucher of the Toronto Raptors. He's been a tricky player this year, is Boucher, in fantasy basketball. He's had ups and downs, but right now he's on the ups once again on the season. He's ranked 42nd in fantasy basketball with 13.8 points a game, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks a game, 1.6 threes, 73% from the foul line, and 53% from the field. And in the last week, he's ranked 40th, so his ranking really hasn't bumped up much, but the production definitely has. 17.4 points a game, 10.2 rebounds, an assist, a whopping 2.5 blocks a game, 1.6 threes, 55% from the field, and 63% from the foul line, including a couple big games the last few nights. February 6th at Atlanta, 29 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. At Memphis, February 8th, 12 points, 10 rebounds. At Washington, February 10th, a huge game, 17 points, 16 boards, 2 blocks. And last night at Boston, he did a little bit of everything, 12 points, 6 rebounds, a steal, a whopping 5 blocks, and 2 threes. Boucher, he's back on the rise. His minutes per game have gone up once again after he was only playing 15 to 20 for a couple games. Now it's more like the 29 to 33 minutes per game. And he's been a stud for this Toronto team. They gave him an extension for a reason, and he's really paying dividends right now for this Raptor team and fantasy owners. The next center on the rise is Jonas Valanciunas of the Memphis Grizzlies. I said earlier in the week to sell Valanciunas high, and I still go by that. He's been doing great this season, no doubt about it, but some of the games he's had of late, I don't think he's going to sustain these numbers. And on the season, he's ranked 59th overall in fantasy basketball with 15.7 points a game, 11.1 rebounds, 2 assists, 77% from the foul line, and 55% from the field. But in the last 2 weeks, he's the 4th ranked best player in fantasy basketball, 20.7 points a game, 14 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1 steal, 93% from the foul line, and 63% from the field. And since he came off the COVID list, he's been an absolute monster. It's February 6th when he returned at New Orleans, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 81% from the field. Then Toronto, February 8th versus former team, 27 and 20 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, a block, 66% from the field. And then 2 nights ago versus Charlotte, another huge rebound game, 12 points, 15 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals. So I still stand, like I said, to sell him high. He's more of a 2-3 type category guy, is Valanciunas. He's going to get the points, he's going to get the high rebounds, and he's got a decent shooting and free throw percentage. But besides that, he don't really pass the ball great for a big man, and he don't really get many block shots on the season, only averaging 1. But Valanciunas, he's rising up the rankings, and he's been great. And the 5th and final center rising up the rankings this week's Al Horford of the OKC Thunder. Horford, another player that was in the Sell High video on the year. Horford, he's ranked 41st overall, which is great for him. 14.4 points a game, 7.1 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 1.1 steals. But in the last couple weeks, he's ranked 14th overall, 18.3 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 2 steals, 1.3 blocks, 2.3 threes, 100% from the foul line, and 46% from the field. So Horford, he's an all-around player right now in the last couple weeks, giving owners about 6 or 7 categories. And I know the Thunder, they're liking this play out of Horford. Obviously, he's helping the team. And also, I think at the trade deadline, they're going to look to get rid of him. And with performances like this, a lot of contenders, they're going to line up and try to trade for Horford, in my opinion. And right now, I think he's not going to sustain these stats. I think he's a definite sell-high candidate. But his last 3 games, they've been as good as you could get. February 5th versus Minnesota, 26 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. February 8th at the Lakers, 14 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, a steal, a block, and 2 threes. And then at the Lakers, once again, February 10th, in a tough loss, losing by 1, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 4 steals, a block, a 3, and 61% from the field. So Horford, he's rising up the rankings. Good for him. I didn't think he had much left in the tank, but he's proved me wrong so far this season. But he's playing at peak value, and that's why I also recommend him as a sell-high candidate. So that's a few centers on the rise here in Week 8 of the fantasy basketball season.